Good morning, everybody. My name is Ellisa Cooper, and this is Cooking in Quarantine. So as you know, I took the day off yesterday for romantic purposes. It was a necessary evil for me. So, guys, I hope everybody's well, and I realized that my camera was charged to zero when I got up this morning and went just now to try to turn it on. So it's taken me, I'm not quite maybe as set up as I normally would be, but here's what's happening in my kitchen today. I have some, over here you might see that I've got a bowl full of celery and carrots and cauliflower and broccoli. I have here some red peppers, some radishes and things. So I'm going to use all of these. I'm pulling them together and getting them prepared so that making a salad is easier than making anything else, right? So that's my plan here for today. And then also, somewhere around here, I have a chicken. And I was going to roast it, so then again, easy. Because as I said the other day, the program that I'm hoping to continue to follow, or to follow more now that I am here trying to whittle off my post-smoking pounds. I am trying to eat like I did in my 20s and 30s when I stayed pretty real thin. So while I've got this onion out here, I'm going to just give myself a few big, thick slices, and I'm going to put those down here in the bottom of my roasting pan, because those are going to be what I sit my, instead of sitting them on a rack down in here, I'm going to sit my chicken on here and let that delicious oniony yumminess kind of soak into the bottom of my chicken. I'm guessing my chicken is probably still in the living room because I started talking to my buddy Alex on the phone, and he and I literally got off like 3 minutes ago. So we have, I probably still have groceries in the other room. Let's see. Here we are. A beautiful family farmed Murray's, no antibiotics, no nothing bad at all. Hello, Carol, how are you? Let's see, I'm going to see if I can get myself just another inch of height here. Here we go. Now I can move a little bit more freely in here without my head getting lopped off. So here we go. Plenty of onions in here. I kind of do this chicken thing that is not too different from the old, what does she call it? The engagement chicken that the current Mrs. Howard Stern swears got her an engagement ring, and that Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, swears that she made before Harry popped the question for her. But it's just a great thing because it's so simple and it's easy to do, because it's just, you really can't mess it up. It's just about putting a little lemon juice on your chicken, a little garlic, a little, what am I trying to say? Lemon, it's the lemons, and then put lemons in the inside. So I've got this kind of ready to go, but I'm not sure that I'm going to turn on my oven just yet. What I'd like to do is turn my oven on, go run a few errands, and come back and turn my oven off. So there's that. So while I've got this pepper right here, just screaming to be cut into easy peasy pieces. I hope all of you guys are well out there. It's funny, I thought that I was going to have a real crazy rant of a show today, but then Alex called, and Alex and I are siblings from another mother, and siblings in the skin, as you would say, and so I was able to get through an awful lot of my rage and anger at the news this morning by talking to Alex. But I'm going to say that as far as I'm concerned, the Buffalo Police Department, they should fire all 57 of those SOBs and take away their pensions. There was absolutely no reason to knock that old man to the ground. And I don't care what they think that their anger was justified. This is exactly the problem. That they think that they are above the law because they are the law. And that's just not okay. If you want to be a police officer, you must keep your shit together 100% of the time. Period. End of story. There's no room for you to get scared and overreact. That's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be trained to be. If you were a soldier, you would be court-martialed for the behavior that a lot of police officers are able to get away with. So that is infuriating to me and absolutely inhumane. Absolutely inhumane. So there is that. I put on my Facebook page today, this morning, if anyone of you are interested, go there, scroll down a bit, and you'll see I found a study from, actually a test from Harvard that tests your implicit bias. And if you haven't stopped and looked at that in these last 9-10 days, then you really are the problem. You need to understand that you are to blame. So get your act together and either look into yourself, search your heart, call your black friends. And if you don't have any black friends, you really are the problem. So now, although that said, my friend, my friend Alex just reminded me this morning that we went to college with a kid who had never seen a black person in real life until he got to college. He came from some middle of God only knows where place in Minnesota where everybody was white and blonde and blue-eyed, and that he was always seemed uncomfortable, like around the football players and that kind of thing. Another thing I would like to say, how do you, like Drew Brees, spend your whole damn life surrounded by people of color in playing sports and be so fucking insensitive? Pardon me, I should have started out with an NC-17 rating. If you can't put yourself in somebody else's shoes, you're just a broken person. Get some empathy, every last one of you. And if you're running your mouth right now, it's because you're not listening. So shut up and listen. So anyway, now I've got a nice little pile of some trimmed, washed. I'm kind of taking this a little step further than my girlfriend Rachel would. And I'm having not just my vegetables washed and ready to use, but even cut up and ready to use. I did this all through my 20s. I always had a giant container of salad mixed up and ready to go. So all you'd have to do is grab a handful. And back in those days, I made a yogurt chimichurri kind of dressing. I don't even think I realized what I was doing. I'm about to lose my garlic cloves in here in my scraps. So let's get these last few little bits of pepper cut up. And then I'm going to make a pepper dressing to go, not maybe with the pepper so much, but with anything that I go. Like I said, if you've got some good dressings made, then it just makes it that much more interesting to it just makes it that much easier to have something delicious, light, fresh, homemade. I think that one of the things that very often is a problem that, here you are, you think you're doing so well and watching your weight and watching what you're doing, only to realize that really you are putting an enormous amount of fake calories and stuff just simply because you're using store-bought salad dressing. So, and there are maybe two that I buy. I buy Garlic Expressions, and I buy the the ginger carrot miso, just because it's easier. It's really good. All that juicing of carrots is a lot of work. So here we go. I've got a nice pile of stuff going here. So this is going to add to, I'll get all of these broken up a little bit more here in the next little bit. And so now I'm going to make my pepper dressing. So I have the peppers that I roasted the other day. They've been resting and just resting around for the last few days. I'm going to get this put on nice and tight. Perfect. And so this calls for a half cup. I'm going to say that's just right at a half a cup. So throw those in. And what else does this want? This wants some honey or some maple syrup. And I'm going to take honey because that came around first. And what does it say? 1.5 tablespoons. So that looks like a tablespoon. And that looks like a half a tablespoon, right? Too much sugar, too little sugar, it doesn't really matter that much, right? This is also this calls for 2 tablespoons of lime juice. I'm going to say that looks like 2 tablespoons of lime juice to me. And 3 tablespoons of apple cider or red wine vinegar. So since the apple cider vinegar is closest, we'll use that, right? So let's go 1, 2, 3. So there's a little vinegar there. If we need a little more, we can always add a little more. Next, a clove of garlic. Look, I have my clove right here. Boom. I'll give it a little chop, 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 so that it'll be a little smaller. And boom, 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 boom. Excellent. Next, what are we doing next? Ah, yes, a little harissa. So now it's interesting that this says you can use harissa or you can do a 1/4 teaspoon of cumin mixed with red pepper flakes. But I am a fanatic for any kind of little jar of deliciousness. So what does this call for? A teaspoon. So that looks pretty good to me. Harissa. Harissa, for those of you who don't know, is sort of a Moroccan, North African hot sauce that is absolutely delicious. Then we need it's almost time for oregano here. It asks for a 1/4 teaspoon of dried oregano. Boom. Then we need a 1/2 cup of olive oil. Now I feel kind of bad. Just don't tell anybody I'm using the really good olive oil because I have not gone to the olive oil store yet. But I'm going to do this. And I'm going to kind of watch my olive oil as it pops up on the top. Knowing that this is a 4 cup, I think I can kind of eyeball that as well. And let's see what else is missing. Salt and pepper, and that is it. So that should be pretty easy. Give it a few cracks of pepper, salt. Perfect. And a little less of the black pepper. Perfect. And now we're all plugged in. We're here. We're ready to go. There we go. Looks pretty good to me. Let's see what we got here. Oh, that's great. That's going to be tons of fun today to have around the house. So awesome. So here's this. And then the only other thing I have to do is, like I said, get my chicken prepped and ready to go in the oven. But I'm going to do that when I go out later because it will take the better part of an hour to cook, right? And then I can have that sitting around so I've got a good protein source to go on a big pile of leafy greens with plenty of raw vegetables. And this is a little thing I steal from my dear friend who always walks around with like a gallon bag of celery and radishes and super wonderful watery vegetables. Yum. So guys, let's see who's here. Hello, Denise. Hello, Donnie. Hello, everybody. Denise and Carol and Ray and Leanne. Thank you guys all so much for coming every day. Thank you for being so kind and understanding about my cancellation yesterday. But there are some days when, you know, you don't have so much going on and everybody just wants to sort of flop around in a t-shirt all day long, right? Or less. So anyway, you guys, do your thing. Be good to yourself. Take care of yourself. But more importantly today, take stock in yourselves. Take the time to look at your implicit bias and figure out how you can be better in the world. Because we white people have had 400 years here in this country to do better. And we have not. Not as a people, not as a whole team. So get it together and do your part to make the world a better, safer place for every one of us. Remember, you cannot say that Nixon said. You can't be pro-Nixon policies and not be a racist. So get off the war on drugs thing. The most horrible thing we've ever done in my lifetime is to have quotas for prisons. So what? Because we've got the beds, we now have to label a certain percentage of our people criminals? That is absolutely immoral. Absolutely immoral. So stop it. Now, thank you very much. Check yourselves. Check your policies. Check your thinking. Understand when you are being unkind to others. Fix it. Love you all. Ciao. Have a great day. See you Monday.